The world worships effort. From a young age, you are taught that worth only comes when you try hard enough. You must be busy. You must struggle. You must pay a price. Over time, that belief becomes the measure of yourself. Whenever something happens too easily, the ego immediately doubts. It demands more proof. It asks for one more step. It makes you do more to feel worthy. But the universe does not grade effort. The universe reflects frequency. Whatever signal you emit, your reality answers that signal. A packed schedule does not guarantee a clean frequency. Very often, a crowded calendar is only a sign of a leaking energy field where thought says one thing, feeling pulls another way, action follows a tired habit. Redefine success. Success is not a long to-do list. Success is a compact and clear signal. When your thinking chooses one thing, when your emotion supports it, when your action moves in the same rhythm, energy gathers into a single point. You no longer have to push the world with your shoulder. You only need to place your shoulder on the right fulcrum. Less force, but accurate. Results arrive naturally because the signal is no longer fragmented. In contrast, when you try to prove your worth, you unconsciously transmit the frequency of lack. Lack attracts more lack. The more you run, the farther the finish line moves. Not because results dislike you, but because your signal does not match the version that holds that result. The simple truth is this: difficulty does not make anything more real. Difficulty only makes you believe you have the right to receive. When you tie worth to hardship, you hand the right to choose your life to fear. Fear tells you that if you are not exhausted, you are not worthy. You obey and add tasks, you add steps, you add rituals, you add rules. In the end, you forget the only thing the quantum field requires: one consistent signal: choose, hold, become. That is the whole game. Everything else is noise. Simplicity is not laziness. Simplicity is the precision of energy. Energy always follows the path of least resistance. It does not reward blind effort. It rewards clarity. You do not need to do more with your hands. You need to refine the field of your own energy. When the arguments end inside you, the resistance ends outside you. The road opens because you no longer build a wall. Ease appears not because you won a lottery. Ease appears because you removed what is not needed. One clear decision, one clean intention, one aligned action. If you have ever wondered why everything sometimes arrives very fast, then suddenly stops, the answer lies in the signal. The quick moments are when you accidentally aligned, you relaxed, you trusted, you acted from a state of enough. The signal matched and reality collapsed into the shape you chose. When you slowed down, it was usually because the ego returned to demand control. It asks if you are sure. It needs to check more. It makes you prove more. Each question is a small deviation. Added together, the signal becomes dim. Reality reflects more slowly. You think you must push harder. The truth is, you only need to clean the signal. From here, reclaim the right to define success for yourself. Success is when your body breathes deep and steady. Success is when your mind is clear and simple. Success is when your heart no longer fears missing out. You do not measure it by hours worked. You measure it by how far energy leakage has dropped. Every time you choose stillness instead of haste, the signal becomes cleaner. Every time you tell the truth instead of pleasing others, the signal becomes stronger. Every time you keep a small promise to yourself, the signal becomes more durable. You can start now with a 60-second practice. Place one hand on your chest, place the other on your belly. Inhale slowly through the nose until the hand on your belly lifts slightly. Hold for one beat. Exhale longer than you inhaled. While you breathe, ask a direct question. If I do not need to prove worth through hardship, what state do I choose right now? Do not search for fancy words. Choose one simple quality only: peace, clarity, enoughness, honesty. When the keyword arises, let the body adjust to it. Spine a little taller, shoulders a little softer, eyes a little calmer. That is the body agreeing with the new frequency. Next, place one small action into your schedule that expresses that frequency. Reply to a message with clarity. Set bedtime 15 minutes earlier. Drink water slowly and notice your breath. Only one act, but align. During the day, if the ego wants to run the old race, repeat a short, strong identity command. I am safe, I am clear, I am aligned. 3 short sentences are frequency code. When the code is right, the door opens. When the code is wrong, more scanning is useless. You do not need to remind the universe 10 times. You need to remind yourself once in the right way. Place your trust in the first signal, then let the world do its part. Remember, the quantum field is not a strict teacher grading homework. The quantum field is an honest mirror. Whatever you bring, it reflects. When you understand this, you stop racing others. You begin to fine-tune yourself. You will see empty space appear in the schedule. Do not rush to fill it. Let that space become room for the new frequency to spread. You will see certain things fall out of your life by themselves. That is not a loss. That is the storage being cleaned. You will see a few opportunities arrive gently. Do not doubt them, just because they are easy. Easy is not fake. Easy is the sign that your signal is correct. Receive them and keep the rhythm. To end this section, carve a new definition. Success is a clean signal. Your job is to clean the signal every day. Breathe to calm the nervous system. Tell the truth to rest the heart. Choose fewer but truer things so the mind becomes lucid. When the signal is clear, you do not need to chase. You walk in the natural order of yourself. And that order is what the world always responds to the fastest. Start with 60 seconds today. Choose one state. Embody it in one small action. Hold the rhythm in quiet. The rest, let your frequency speak. Results do not arise from strained desire. Results come from knowing and coherence. The quantum field does not listen to pleading. The quantum field only reads the signal you are. When you are divided inside, the signal breaks apart. A fragmented signal cannot collapse a clear reality. Picture a barcode scanner. When the code is correct, the door opens immediately. When the code is wrong, no matter how many scans, the door stays shut. Not because the system dislikes you, simply because the data you transmit does not match. Manifestation works the same way. You can repeat the desire, you can add rituals and add hours of effort, but if the base signal is still lack and fear, the door does not move. What is needed is not a stronger scan. What is needed is a new code. Changing the code means changing the baseline state, so the field can read a new message. The baseline is written by 3 layers: thought, emotion, action. When these 3 say the same thing, the signal becomes clear and strong. Things begin to flow because you are no longer sending conflicting commands. I want you to check your signal now. Slow down for one breath. Place a hand on your chest and silently read 3 compact affirmations. I am safe, I am clear, I am aligned. These 3 are not lucky charms. They are a frequency code. When you say I am safe, the nervous system receives good news. The body leaves survival mode. The energy current stops contracting. When you say I am clear, the mind stops looping old scripts. A single target appears like a point of light. When you say I am aligned, the small action in front of you automatically matches the version you have chosen. From here, I invite you to leave a marker of presence in the comments. Write what you desire most in the next 90 days. Write it in the present tense as a reality that exists. For example, I live in a home filled with light. Add the quality you will hold each day, for example, peace or clarity or steadiness. Add one short sentence. I am aligning with this. The reason for this request is simple. I want to hear your voice, so I know I am not speaking alone. Your presence is precious fuel for a creator like me. Every comment is a beat of coherence. Every beat of coherence is a step forward for the whole community toward a clean signal. I honor and thank you for being here. Now we return to the operating law. Many people say they want peace but live by the schedule of fear. They claim they want freedom, but the body contracts each time a decision is needed. They hope to receive, but the heart does not allow the feeling of receiving. A barcode scanner cannot read two different codes in one scan. The quantum field also cannot respond to two opposing frequencies sent at the same time. Therefore, from this moment, choose one code and hold it in very small gestures. When you send a message, use the tone of someone who is clear. When you open a door, enter with the walk of someone who is ready. When you sit down to work, place the body in a posture that is straight and soft. You do not need loud declarations. You only need the body and mind to emit a steady timbre. If the old mind returns and says this is too easy, simply return to the three sentences, I am safe, I am clear, I am aligned. Repeat like a breath, not hurried, not as a charm. Every repetition is a deeper engraving of the new code into the nervous system. When the code is carved in, doors open with the naturalness of gravity. You will see opportunities arrive along the path of least resistance. You will see the right people recognize you without your shouting. You will see some doors close without pain because the new code no longer matches them. And when good things arrive gently, do not doubt. Easy is not fake. Easy is proof of a correct signal. The quantum field responds to signal, not to desire. You do not need a long task list. You need a clean frequency code. You do not need permission from reality. You need to emit a consistent presence. And I hope to read that presence in the comments below this video so we can hold the rhythm of the new code together, the rhythm of safety, of clarity, of alignment, the rhythm of doors opening at the right time. Simplicity does not mean sitting still and waiting for luck. Simplicity is when your energy takes the path of least resistance. When a river meets an obstacle, it does not carry rocks out of the stream. It finds a smoother channel. Your path is the same. Doing less with the hands is not doing fewer things. It is removing wasted motion. Doing more with energy is not secret magic. It is bringing your whole self into one direction. To do that, you need precision. Precision is the ability to say one single thing with thought, emotion, and body together. When these three speak in unison, results arrive fast because internal conflict is no longer draining power. Picture a camera lens. You can buy a new body, change lenses, add more lights, but if the focus ring is off by even a small mark, the image stays soft. Then you push contrast, sharpen, add filters. The result is still a tight but shallow picture. With one slight turn, the frame suddenly snaps into focus, the light finds a home, the colors gain air. Achievement in life works the same way. Often you are not lacking tools or effort. You are missing a small turn on the focus ring of state. You add steps, add hours, add ideas. When what is needed most is a gentle turn toward the true focal point. The focal point here is the identity you are embodying in the present moment. Embody before you achieve is the key. If the version that already has what you want lives with a steady breath, uses clear language, walks straight and light, then borrow those signals now. Do not wait for certificates from circumstances. Identity leads behavior. Behavior retrains the nervous system. The nervous system emits a new field. The new field calls in new situations. When you enter a room with a straight back, a relaxed jaw, a steady breath, the brain receives the signal of safety and opens the door to longer range vision. When you answer email with a concise opening and a clear close, your language field transmits a coherent frequency. When you allow the body to sleep 15 minutes earlier, you are teaching biology that results honor stability more than urgency. Each detail is a small turn on the focus ring. A micro action plan is the ruler that measures precision. In a day, you need only one small decision that matches the frequency. In the morning, instead of checking the phone, drink a glass of water and sit upright for 3 even breaths. Before replying to work, whisper a short identity command in your mind. I am calm. I am clear. I am aligned. When you enter a meeting room, reset the spine to neutral. and let both feet ground clearly. Before you lock a time slot, ask if this choice makes my signal cleaner. If the answer is yes, act now and decisively. If the answer is no, say no quietly. The strength of micro-actions lies in putting the mind into a micro-win mode, where the body records proof that you are the one who keeps rhythm, not the one who is swept away. Why do small choices create big turns? Because they release you from friction. Friction is born when many voices speak inside at once. Micro-actions cut away extra voices and leave a single axis. When an axis appears, energy accelerates along that line. This is why some people change with one tiny habit, like turning off notifications, or setting a daily quiet hour, or writing 3 affirmations before they begin work. These small things do not exhaust you, yet they shift the orbit because they clean the base signal. When the signal is clean, every modest effort acts like a lever. Energy precision is also the art of reducing emotional noise. Noise is not the feeling that comes and goes. Noise is the story you add on top of the feeling. When a wave of worry arises, you do not need to suppress it. You only need to name it, let it pass through the body for 90 seconds, then return to the focal point. The focal point is this question: does the next thing I do resemble the version that already has the result? If yes, do it. If no, drop it. The operating rhythm becomes simple because you have moved from fighting to choosing. Choosing repeated becomes structure. Structure holds the field holds the result. To see the effect concretely, build a day by the lens rule. Morning, set focus with even breathing and a short identity command. Midday, reset focus with body posture and a clear decision on priority. Evening, lock focus with a clean shutdown ritual. Turn devices off early. Write one piece of evidence that the new frequency appeared, even if very small. 3 turns of the focus ring are enough for brain, heart, and muscles to agree. That agreement is coherence at the biological level. As coherence rises, working memory improves. Impulsive reactions drop, and intuition surfaces like a still lake. You begin to see doors open where there used to be a wall, not because you knock harder, but because you knock on the right door. Do not confuse speed with haste. Haste is when you change focal points constantly. Speed is when you hold one focal point long enough for the system to organize itself. From now on, each time you want to add a task, ask whether it makes the image sharper. If it only makes the image brighter without sharper, that is saturation, let it go. If it makes the image sharper, keep it. When you apply this to relationships, work, health, you will see a strange economy. Fewer words, but the right words. Fewer meetings, but the right people. Fewer exercises, but the right mechanism. The right kind of less creates spaciousness in time and mind, and that spaciousness lets the new frequency take root. Finally, remember that simplicity is not a lack of ambition. Simplicity is ambition that has matured. Immature ambition clings to many tasks and much noise. Mature ambition gathers life force into one line of sight and one baseline state. Each day you choose one micro decision that matches the frequency, and each day you turn the focus ring correctly. One small turn today, one sharp image tomorrow, one consistent collection after a month, and a life that is lean and deep after a year. That is the path of energy precision. Not loud, not showy. Effective like the law of light through a lens. When the focus is right, everything else becomes beautiful on its own. Signal hygiene is the art of removing inner fragmentation, so that a single frequency leads the way. People often say one thing, feel another, expect a different direction. That is when the signal is torn into many threads. Each thread pulls to a side, and the result is friction. You say you want peace, yet the body is tight like a string. You claim you trust, yet your hands keep checking every sign and reading every omen. You expect abundance, yet your daily language tells a story of lack. Fragmentation is not a moral fault, it is only noise. To go fast, you must be quiet first. Energy follows the path of least resistance, and the greatest resistance is the noise we create ourselves. Signal hygiene does not begin by adding tasks. It begins by reducing noise. Use the noise-canceling headphone metaphor. When you turn on noise canceling, you do not destroy sound. You create an opposing wave that cancels background noise, so the music appears clearly. The mind has a similar mode with 3 neat steps. Step 1, name the fear. Call the exact name and only the name. No explanation, no long commentary. For example, fear of rejection, fear of missing out, fear of not enough. Write it down or say it silently, and that is enough. When you name it correctly, the fear loses anonymity, it returns to its true size, it does not swell into a vague monster. Step 2, accept the sensation for 90 seconds. Sit upright, breathe evenly, allow the body to feel the exact area that is contracting without adding comments. It may be a heavy chest, a tight belly, tense shoulders. Only observe and breathe. 90 seconds are enough for the wave of emotion to pass like a breeze. Step 3, return to the choice. Today, what standard do I choose? Do not argue with fear. Do not try to chase it away. Only return to the standard you want to transmit. Peace, clarity, steadiness, gratitude. Choose one standard, say it quietly, then let the next action carry the signature of that standard. These 3 steps are the opposing wave of the mind. They do not erase life, they erase noise, so the frequency you choose rings out clearly. After turning on noise canceling, you need a not-to-do list for energy to keep the baseline clean. Do not check for signs continuously. That behavior emits the code of lack and anxiety. Do not retell the story of lack. Every retelling strengthens an old vibration map. Do not lower yourself with sarcastic self-humor. Language is the most delicate programming unit of the field. Do not add more sources of noise, such as mindless scrolling, mindless comparison, mindless promising. Give the brain a low noise diet, fewer notifications, fewer half-open windows, fewer unnecessary conversations. You do not need to plug your ears against the world. You only need to lower the noise floor to hear the inner rhythm. When the noise floor drops, you will notice small leaks that have been draining life force. A sigh before starting work, a needless delay, a call made only to fill a gap. Each time you find a leak, use the 3 steps again, name it, accept for 90 seconds, return to today's standard, then cut the excess act and replace it with a gesture that matches the frequency. Locking one frequency is bringing the whole system to a single signature and holding it long enough for reality to line up. You do not lock a frequency with loud rituals. You lock it with micro decisions that carry the same signature repeated through the day. In the morning, you begin with 2 deep breaths and an identity command. I am safe, I am clear, I am aligned. When your hand touches the phone, ask silently, does this move make my signal cleaner? If not, step back, drink water, sit upright, then begin. At work, choose one main task and complete it fully. Instead of opening 3 windows at once, you know that every half-open window is a leaking connection. Completion is how you close the circuit. Before a decision, bring the body to neutral, both feet grounded, shoulders soft, forehead relaxed, then ask, which choice keeps me in today's standard? When the answer appears, confirm and move, no circling, no asking for extra permission. At night, you close the cycle with a simple quieting ritual, turn off notifications, lower harsh light, record one small piece of evidence of the chosen frequency. It may be a calmer conversation, a neatly finished task, a timely deep breath, then let the body enter sleep like a closing cadence. With that rhythm, something unusual happens. Fewer things but clearer, fewer words but heavier, fewer methods but more accurate, because one frequency held long enough pulls surrounding structures into its natural order. The secret of signal hygiene lies in subtle honesty with yourself. Honest that you are noisy, so you dare press the cancel button. Honest that you want to multitask, so you dare close extra windows. Honest that you are lowering yourself with humor, so you dare choose supportive language. Honest that you are waiting for signs, so you dare stop scanning and return to the chosen standard. Every act of honesty is a battery change for the noise-canceling headphones. When the battery is full, the depth of silence appears, and within that depth, your signal shines, like a single note, no wobble, no steering. When the signal shines like that, you will not need to urge reality, because reality has only been waiting for a clear code to answer. Clean the signal, clear the noise, lock one frequency, then let the rest of the universe work as it always does, returning to you the right image at the speed of the path of least resistance. Coherence is not a pretty idea in the head. Coherence is a piece of music played fully in the body. Imagine you are a living orchestra. The conductor is intention. The strings are emotion. The percussion is action. When the conductor raises the hand with a clear tempo, the strings answer with a unified tone. The percussion marks time like a pillar. Sound merges into one body. When the conductor hesitates, the strings each play their own way. The percussion tries to push the speed to hide the lack of synchrony. The result is only noise. Your life is the same. Intention must lead, emotion must support intention, action must stamp both. When the three move in one rhythm, your field becomes compact, coherent, full of bounce, and doors open along the path of least resistance. The brain enters coherence best when the body feels safe. Safety does not come from reasoning. It comes from biological signals flowing the right way. When breath is smooth, the heart beats evenly. The muscles are soft in the right places. The brain self-adjusts away from high stress zone. Then, the regions for intuition and imagination work better, while defensive circuits settle. You hear your intention without the shouting of fear. You feel your emotion without being dragged by the wave. You choose the right action without exhausting struggle. This is embodied coherence, not a speech in the head. It is a way of being in the body with deep understanding. To bring the orchestra into one rhythm, you need a short, precise ritual. 2 minutes are enough if you do it right. Begin with a simple posture. Sit upright but soft. Both feet firm on the floor, shoulders relaxed, forehead calm, a hand on the belly, so the body receives a signal of closeness and safety. Soften the gaze or close the eyes gently. Inhale through the nose for a count of 4. Hold for 4. Exhale through the mouth for 6. Repeat 3 to 5 cycles. Let the belly rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. Allow the exhale to be longer than the inhale, because a long exhale is a safety signal sent to the brain. When the breath finds its orbit, say quietly, inside an identity command in the present tense, I am the keeper of calm rhythm. Do not shout, do not force belief, speak with the breath and let the body hear it from within. One simple sentence is enough for the conductor to cue. In that moment, emotion as the strings finds a single theme, soft but directed, action as the percussion prepares a firm first beat to open the day. When the identity command is anchored in the body, continue with one small movement to seal the signal. Place a hand on the heart and nod very gently as if signing an invisible signature in the field. Or stand and take 2 slow steps with a straight spine, as if striking the opening bars of a score. Or open the computer and write the first sentence of an important email. Clear and calm. This is the moment the percussion stamps, because action is where frequency becomes form. Coherence is not complete if it stops at feeling. Coherence truly locks only when a small act with the same rhythm is performed. Many people stumble by trying to fix emotion first. Yet emotion is the string section, rich in shades and easily pulled by story. The smarter move is to cue the conductor first, then let the percussion mark time, then the strings will tune themselves. The conductor is intention, so the identity command must be simple, present, and understood by the body. I am calm, I am clear, I am aligned. The percussion is action, so it must be small and immediate, enough for the body to feel the convergence. Stand upright, drink water slowly, give one concise reply. The strings are emotion, so give them time and space to join the rhythm. No forcing, no judging. When the 3 are in time, you will notice something very real. The hard task is still there, but friction drops sharply. You enter the old situation with a lightness that was not there before. You use fewer words yet more exact. You keep silence at the right moment, and what needs to be said rises on its own. That is the sound of coherence. Fewer sounds, yet richer substance. Embodied coherence is also the discipline of keeping rhythm through the day. Morning is staging, midday is retuning, evening is closing. In the morning, you do the 2-minute ritual to set the orchestra in the right key. At midday, you pause briefly to check, is the exhale still long? Are the shoulders still soft? Is the identity command still audible? If there is drift, repeat 1 cycle of inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 6, then mark 1 small action. In the evening, you close by recording 1 moment when you kept the rhythm, even a very small one, a gentle conversation, a clear decision, a minute without mindless scrolling. Recording is how you let the orchestra hear its own take, so it can self-adjust for the next day. Do not mistake coherence for bracing. Bracing is when the percussion beats too hard to cover the strings. Confusion. Coherence is when each section plays its role. Bracing creates loudness but fatigue. Coherence creates depth and endurance. You do not need to do more to have coherence. You need to remove off-beat moves. When you are about to step in to control, return to a long breath and the identity command. When a swell of feeling rises, place a hand on the belly and allow 90 seconds to pass before speaking. When you want to prove yourself, let a small action speak for you. When consistency repeats enough, the body remembers the rhythm, and then you no longer need to think to keep it. You become the keeper naturally. When mind, heart, body share one rhythm, your field becomes attractive in the purest sense. You do not pull reality toward you through tension. You let reality glide toward you because friction has lowered. Coincidences begin to thicken, not because miracles appear at random, but because you have brought your orchestra to a steady standard. From that standard, every signal you emit is clean and easily mirrored by the field. This is the core of embodied coherence. 1 right breath, 1 right sentence, 1 right act. Repeat. Hold the rhythm. Let the music do the rest. Control is a reflex of survival, but in the quantum reality, it often creates noise and weakens the signal. The more you try to manage every detail, the more the field reads a message of insecurity. The 3 adjustments replace the habit of control with 3 compact and strong pillars: clarity about what and why, dropping time markers, trusting the first alignment. When these 3 operate together, you step from chasing into embodiment. Energy no longer sprays in many directions. It gathers into a single beam. Simplicity here is not laziness. It is operational precision. You no longer ask what to add, you ask what to remove, so the signal becomes cleaner. The answer is almost always to drop excess control and keep the right adjustment. The first pillar is clarity about what and why. People who lack clarity move a lot, yet go nowhere, because each action drags along its own fear, and the signal they emit is not unified. Choose one single thing for this phase, only one. Write 1 line for the desire, then write 1 line for the reason, short and direct. The desire line tells where you direct energy. The reason line tells what motive powers that energy. If the reason arises from compensating for lack, the signal will vibrate at the frequency of lack. If the reason arises from your values and your truth, the signal will be stable and calm. Clarity means you dare to eliminate secondary desires that split the field. Clarity also means you dare to say no to good opportunities that are off frequency. When only one focal point remains, every other choice becomes light, because they fall away by themselves if they do not match this direction. The second pillar is dropping time markers. Timelines are useful tools in management, but in the quantum field, they easily become an emergency code. Each time you attach next week, this month, this quarter, this year, you unintentionally send a rush signal. Urgency is the child of lack. The shift is to replace all time markers with a description of state. Instead of writing must achieve before a specific day, write the state in which the version that has the result is living. Write in the present tense. write in the language of body and heart, peace in the breath, clarity in the words, discipline in small actions. When you describe the state, brain and body have something to model immediately. When the state is present, time contracts by the law of least resistance. You do not need to turn the clock. You only need to hold the right frequency. When the frequency is right, coincidence increases, speed increases, yet your inner tempo stays slow and deep. That is the sign you have left time pressure and entered positive latency, where results glide in because friction is low. The third pillar is trusting the first alignment. The moment you choose and the body gives a very slight nod, the signal has been sent. If right after that you rewrite, repeat, ask again out of fear that is not enough, you are teaching the field that you do not trust your own signal. Every repetition born of fear is a downgrade. Therefore, after writing one line of desire and one line of reason, sign your first decision and do not rewrite it for 72 hours. 3 quiet days allow the signal to settle into biophysiology and allow small actions to sprout from within rather than be forced from outside. During those 72 hours, you do not hunt for signs, you do not nod to self-soothe, you do not demand immediate answers from reality, you only keep a living rhythm that matches the described state. Breathe deeply, tell the truth, act cleanly, sleep enough, eat slowly, and complete one main task each day. When trust is placed in the right place, you will feel steadiness like a riverbed. To bring the 3 adjustments into life, you need a new but simple structure. Step 1, choose one single thing for the current cycle and write one line of desire with one line of reason. Step 2, strike out every word related to time in the note. Replace them with a description of the state of the version that has the result. Step 3, sign the first decision and set a commitment not to repeat out of fear within 72 hours. Then use very small anchors to hold rhythm. One identity command in the morning. I am safe, I am clear, I am aligned. One micro action at midday to stamp the frequency. Complete one task to the end. One closing ritual at night. Turn off notifications early and record one piece of evidence that you lived the chosen state. These 3 anchors are like 3 pegs in a score. They keep the music in key when the day changes. You can test the 3 adjustments in 2 specific situations. With work, instead of chasing dates, choose one main project, describe the state of the person who completes the project on frequency, then do one opening action during the day and one closing action at the end of the day. After signing the first decision, keep silence for 72 hours against any temptation to rewrite the goal. With health, instead of pinning weight to a fixed day, describe the state of the person who has the body you want. Sleep enough, eat with presence, move consistently, then each day complete one small habit that matches that state. The 3 adjustments work because they let the field understand you through consistent language, not through demands that change every moment. The final point to remember, control gives you a brief sense of safety, but it weakens the signal. Adjustment gives you a sense of trust, and it strengthens the signal. When you are clear about what and why, you end fragmentation. When you drop time markers, you leave the emergency code. When you trust the first alignment, you grant yourself the right to be consistent. From there, your actions decrease in number but increase in quality. Your words become fewer but carry more weight. Your presence is quiet yet strong. And results, as we have seen, do not arrive because you clamp the wheel. They arrive because the boat is aligned with its own current. The 3 adjustments are your inner compass. You only need to hold it firmly and walk. The road will answer the rest. Each time a genuine desire appears, a corresponding timeline has already lit up in the field of information. It is not rigid fate. It is not a sudden miracle. It is a real possibility that is broadcasting and waiting for you to match it. Your job is not to reinvent the universe. Your job is to tune to the right channel. You do not pull reality toward you with force. You only need to emit the right frequency and let reality glide toward you along the path of least resistance. The truest image for this process is the classic radio. The stations always broadcast. You simply turn the dial until the static ends. Then the music that has always been there rings clear in the room. Use the tuning fork metaphor. When a tuning fork vibrates at the note A, the nearby strings resonate on their own, not because anyone commanded them, but because of resonance. You are the same. When you vibrate at a clear standard, the surrounding structure arranges itself. The right people draw near on their own. The corresponding opportunities appear on their own. What is off frequency falls out of orbit without your pushing. Strong vibration matters less than correct vibration. A tuning fork that rings too loud but is a half step off still creates harshness. A small fork that is on pitch creates harmony that spreads through the room. So rather than ask how to broadcast louder, ask how to broadcast truer. True means no self-contradiction, no changing notes halfway, no mixing fear into the signal. Now the lighthouse metaphor. Ships do not find harbor by noise. They find it by a steady, far-reaching beam. A lighthouse does not leave its place to chase a ship. It stands still at a stable height, turning slowly and steadily, sending a trustworthy beat of light through a stormy night. You become a lighthouse when you choose the high position of identity and hold a stable beam. High here is not haughty. High means you stand above fear. You no longer need to prove that you are worthy. Stable means you do not change key every hour with each mood. When you waver, the beam stutters and ships cannot orient. When you keep rhythm, the waves can still rise, yet what belongs to you will find its way. To tell which channel is right, use a short test of 3 questions. Is this light? Is this spacious? Does this repeat a once known feeling? Light means the body does not contract, breath does not snap, shoulders do not clench. You feel more space rather than tightness. Spacious means the mind sees many natural options. Rather than a single tunnel, there's room for others to win too. Room for flexibility, room for the rhythm of life. Repeat a once known feeling means a quiet familiarity, not because you already had the identical result, but because its quality visited you in earlier lucid moments, like the smell of wind on a hilltop, like the heartbeat after a right decision. If all 3 are yes, it is usually a vibrational memory returning, not a coincidence. You have tuned in to the station of the timeline that has waited for you since the desire first arose. Remembering the timeline does not happen only in the head, it must be woven into breath and daily gestures. Begin by taking the body out of alarm mode. Inhale slowly, hold lightly, exhale longer than the inhale. Let the belly rise and fall like a gentle wave. When the breath is smooth, place inside a present tense identity command. I am living as the one who already has what I choose. Peace in the breath, clarity in the words, lean action in the body. No need to repeat for hours. Speak it correctly and let the body hear. Then confirm with a small cue of the body. Stand straight, walk slowly, soften the gaze, like turning the radio dial by 1 notch. Next, seal it with 1 micro action that carries the right signature. Complete 1 single task to the end. Reply to 1 message with a concise tone. Decline 1 off-frequency invitation with quiet. These tiny fragments are the carrier waves that let your signal reach far and hold steady. A common trap is to think that remembering the timeline means trying to recreate every detail. That approach pulls you back into control and thickens noise. The correct timeline does not ask you to copy the past or force the future. The correct timeline invites you to hold the quality. Quality means 3 core traits that the other version lives each day. It can be peace, integrity, generosity. It can be clarity, discipline, warmth. When you hold the quality, the form will come on its own. The outer shape changes slowly but surely. Relationships line up differently. The calendar shrinks to what has force. You will see the structure around you move, not because you push, but because the tuning fork has done its work. The lighthouse has kept its beam. The radio has caught the station. When doubt rises, remember the law of least resistance. If you must strain your whole body to maintain an image, it may not be the right channel. The right channel is not free, yet it does not leak energy in vain. You still act, but you act with a long breath and bright eyes. You still persist, but you persist with fewer things and the right things. You still meet challenges, but the challenge becomes a test of signal cleanliness, not proof against you. On noisy days, return to the 3 questions: light or not, spacious or not, quietly familiar or not. If one answer is no, pause and turn one more notch, perhaps with an hour of quiet, a small tidy of the desk, a concise apology, a timely sleep. These simple moves are the alignment operations, because the timeline is not far away. The timeline is here in each unit of life rhythm. The final point, you are not seeking a different version of yourself in the future. You are remembering yourself in the present. When you emit the right frequency, time behaves differently. It shortens absurd distances and widens the spaces that need growth. You will see signs arrive with a gentle hand. Coincidences thicken. Gratitude hums like a warm bass under your skin. In that moment, do not rush to credit technique. Acknowledge that you have stood in your rightful place. A tuning fork on pitch, a lighthouse standing still, a radio tuned in. 3 simple images that remind you the desired timeline has always been there. Your task is only to match the frequency and let the music play. Anchoring is not a cumbersome ritual. Anchoring is the decision to make the right state your daily foundation. Vibrational confirmation always arrives like a whisper, not loud but certain. When you choose to live from an aligned state, you do not force life toward you. You let life reflect you naturally. The anchoring command is simple and strong. I allow things to be easy. When you say this to the body, you invite the nervous system to leave survival. You invite the mind to leave argument. You invite the heart to leave resistance. From there, embodiment replaces effort, magnetism replaces chasing. Turn anchoring into a baseline habit with a rhythm of 3 times a day. In the morning, choose one emotional standard to lead the day. It does not need to be long. It only needs to be clear. Peace, clarity, steadiness, gratitude. Place a hand on the belly, breathe smoothly for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6, so the body knows it is safe. Say quietly inside a present tense identity command, I am the keeper of calm rhythm. Keep the spine just straight enough, the face soft, the eyes warm. Then open the day with one small act that carries that signature. Fold the blanket neatly, drink water slowly, write an opening line for the main task. When the day opens on the right frequency, the rest slides along the path of least resistance. At midday, turn noise canceling back on for the mind. Check posture and breath for 1 minute. Are the shoulders tensing? Is the jaw clenching? Is the breath shallow? Reset the spine to neutral. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 6. This is the moment to reset the focus ring like a camera lens, a very slight turn that makes the image sharp at once. Then, seal one micro decision that matches the frequency, finish a task that is open, say no to an invitation that is off standard, write one concise sentence instead of a rambling paragraph. Midday is the bridge that holds rhythm, so the morning stays bright and the afternoon does not tangle. In the evening, lock the state so the body learns by heart. Write one small piece of coherence evidence from the day. The smaller, the better. A calmer conversation, a clear choice, a moment of stopping at the right time. Thank it with a short sentence. Then dim the lights, turn off notifications, allow the breath to slow. Sleep is the recording studio of the nervous system. The signals repeated through the day are etched more deeply at night. When you go to sleep with gratitude and quiet, you sign a new contract with yourself. You wake up tomorrow on the same frequency without the effort of rebuilding from scratch. For anchoring to become a true default, tie it to environment and touch points. Place a small reminder where your hand lands most often, beside the water bottle, on the lock screen at the corner of the desk. Every touch becomes a breath, a repetition of the identity command, a posture reset. Reduce noisy inputs for the brain, fewer half-open windows, less unconscious comparison, less sign hunting. You do not need to chase the universe scoreboard. You only need to broadcast a clean signal continuously. When you drift off rhythm, do not blame yourself. Self-blame is noise, correction is a choice. Use the 1-minute repair rule, name the feeling that is driving, allow it to pass in 90 seconds, return to today's standard, no speech is needed, only a return. Once the state becomes the base, the schedule will reorganize itself. You move from time management to frequency management. Each morning, choose one single high-quality act as the day's fulcrum. At midday, protect a pocket of space for mental recovery. At night, close cleanly so the signal rests in silence. You will see productivity rise without strain. Because actions are fewer but accurate, words are fewer but exact, decisions are fewer but continuous. The boundary with what no longer fits becomes clear. You do not need to resist loudly. You only need to stand still in your standard like a lighthouse, standing still at night. The steady light is answer enough. Anchoring is also the art of tending to trust. Trust the first alignment. Trust the right breath. Trust the small repeated behavior. Do not rewrite desires out of fear. Do not retest techniques out of impatience. Do not change key whenever mood swings. Every sturdy bridge is built from similar bricks placed in an order, not from different bricks thrown down by sudden inspiration. When you let simplicity lead, refinement blooms, intuition brightens, coincidences thicken, and the feeling of enough becomes the base rather than a rare high. I want to hold a quiet moment to send you sincere thanks. You have walked with me to the end of this journey. That is not small. Your presence is the most precious part of the work I am doing. Every moment you slow your breath, every small choice you make to clean the signal, every line you record as a piece of coherence, all of it contributes to a healthy, shared frequency. I wish you a day lived in the state you have chosen, a night of deep sleep, and a week where doors open at the speed of the path of least resistance. If what you heard touched you and you want to go further together, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. It is the simplest way for us to keep rhythm together, for new videos to find you at the right time, and for me to know you are still here, continuing to broadcast your own signal. Thank you for trusting, for trying, for returning to the simplicity of a clean frequency. You do not chase, you broadcast. When the signal is clean, life reflects quickly. And when life reflects quickly, you simply keep walking with a quiet smile.